Pierre struggled to explain that Mr. Biden still believes Washington, D.C. should govern itself.
The decision that he is making, he's making it for the people of D.C.
In a tweet, the president said he doesn't support a move by D.C. to lower penalties for carjackings. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Hoping for a winning week, Wall Street opened higher this morning with the Dow, the Nasdaq, and the S&P all starting off the day in positive territory. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Friday morning to you out there, everybody. We've had our share of rain over the evening and some really big showers this morning. A little bit more coming in. Should be a beautiful weekend. We just got a little bit more to get through. Right about 1 o'clock when this show ends, that's when the rain should be out of here as well. I love some Phil Collins. You know, Bob, it's not everybody I would turn Phil Collins down to talk to. How are you doing? Good morning.
There you go. Yeah, Phil Collins is great. In the Air Tonight. That's my classic he does.
That drum solo, like the boom, boom.
That was it's the train scene on Risky Business.
Okay. All right. I'd forgotten about that.
Right.
I'd forgotten about that. Well, good morning. Former U.S. Congressman Bob Ney joining us. It's Friday, so that means we've got Bob in the house with us. Bob, I know right now, as you and I are talking, I'm looking up on the television sets in the studios. The judge is talking to Murdaugh. Is it Murdoch or Murdo? It's spelled like Murdo.
They're saying Murdoch.
I know. That's all the documentaries I've watched. That's how they pronounce it. It doesn't look like that, but yeah, it looks like we're in the sentencing phase.
I didn't follow that case. I must be the only person in America, and I turned it on because it's not news that I carry,
Mm-hmm.
And I turned it on and saw a snippet of it. And I immediately sat there and said, guilty, guilty, guilty.
Yeah.
This was like 5 days ago. I watched his testimony, and I'm like, okay. And then this morning, I finished some news early and stuff, and I dug into the whole thing. Wow! Now they're looking at him for 2 other murders.
Absolutely. I've watched documentaries. I don't know if you're a documentary guy or not.
I am, but I haven't seen that one. Now, of course, look, I'm like the only guy on earth that hasn't seen Harry Potter yet.
Oh,
but I will. Right.
Yeah. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that one either.
Okay, we're the only 2 on planet Earth.
We're the only 2. But no, this is absolutely amazing. The fact that this guy in South Carolina, this family, since the 1900s, have owned this town, and they've made all this money. And they don't call them district attorneys there; they call them solicitors, essentially. And they've been solicitors, someone in the family for 100+ years, and bad things could happen to everybody else, but not them. And the kids could act crazy. There was before this murder trial happened, some documentaries were out about his son who had driven drunk on a boat. Where they are in South Carolina, you can drive down the little rivers and stuff like that, and they'd had a boat wreck and somebody died, and he kind of covered that up. So this story just goes.
Well, now they think Holder's son Buster may have hit and killed this 19-year-old kid down there. That's what they're thinking too.
Right. This family just gone him up. But yeah, interesting. He was found guilty after about a 3-hour deliberation. So I know that surprised
2 life
a lot of
sentences.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the hardest of those 2 life sentences. The first 107 years is the hardest.
Right.
After that,
as soon as you get through the first 107,
you're okay.
Oh my goodness. Well, yeah. So we're going to be following this all day. It's funny what catches our attention, and nationally in America. You know what I mean? Because there's horrible stories, maybe not exactly like this one, but horrible stories every single day that come out. It's kind of odd what we gravitate to.
Yeah, well, the Johnny Depp trial. Now, I got into that. I think that was one of the most hilarious things I have seen in a long time. Johnny Depp's comments were just, you could make an entire movie out of it.
Could you not? Was it not the weirdest thing, too? Just these two crazy people? Both of them, ridiculously crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, Bob. So tell us what we got going on this morning. We've got more COVID talk, telling us again things that we all already knew.
Well, a couple of years ago, I had made a statement on the radio stations that I do that when the controversy was coming out, but I made a statement based on friends in D.C., frankly, telling me that it came out of the lab. Now, their theory, and these are people I think that are in the know, but their theory was that animals were experimented on in the lab in Wuhan, and then they were to be disposed of, and some way underpaid people, the 20 cent an hour people, took them and sold them on the wet market because they're very valuable. That was their theory. So all along they said it came out of the lab at in China,
right.
Which now the FBI is officially saying it. You kind of wonder why did they waited so long to say this, but then again, I think if the director of the FBI said it before the Congress, that most likely he's got good information.
The fact the Department of Energy said it, the FBI has said it. I know there's some, other groups that are still out there that haven't said it yet, but I think there, 7 or 8 different, people
right.
who would judge this. But regardless, does this change anything?
Well, I don't think it does, except hopefully China will be more alert, because China did not tell the world that this was going on till after it occurred, and they knew about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, China wouldn't really let everybody in to investigate it like they were originally saying they would do. But the Chinese government is secretive, manipulative, and, simply doesn't tell the truth, never has, and probably never will. So, if anything, though, it puts it more on alert, that it came out of their lab in China. They need to be obvious